first thing, you're staying here like this in this fixed position, and you're doing this. You know, your bicep needs to stretch. It needs to contract. It needs to stretch. It needs to contract. You're here like this. Everything's in your front delt and your delts, and you're here. You're doing these movements. It feels good. You get up, you're pumped, you feel like, but you're not really training your bicep. So you might need to drop the weight, stretch, squeeze. Stretch, squeeze. That's it. We make it more complicated when we start thinking we need to handle more weight. More weight. The primary goal here is not to contract, not to lift weights. You're not a weightlifter. I'll never be a weightlifter. And for people out there that don't know what a weightlifter and a bodybuilder, what's the difference, I'm going to explain it to you. A bodybuilder is primarily concerned with contracting his muscles. He contracts his muscles against greater and greater amounts of resistance. By doing that, he's able to stimulate hypertrophy and make his muscles grow. A weightlifter is just concerned about moving weight. You know, and he can boast to you about how much he curls, how much he benches, you know, how much do you lift? You're a weightlifter. It's really not important to me. Primarily what's important to me is being able to make my muscles contract efficiently. So I'm going to get a stretch and a contraction. And I'm going to be in control of it throughout the entire range of motion. Does that make sense? Stretch, 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 stretch. Contract. Stretch, 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 stretch. Contract. 9, 4, 5, 6. Now that might not look impressive to people at home. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm struggling contracting my biceps against 30 pounds of resistance. But somebody at home is like, I could do more than he's curling. Okay, here, that's it. Stretch this, lock your elbow here. That's it, don't let your elbow move. Yes, 1. Stretch, 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 stretch. 2. 3. 4. Don't move your elbows. 5. Elbows stay locked. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Squeeze. 11. Squeeze. 12, squeeze. 13, squeeze. There you go.
And I learned a lot based on what he said today and based on the weights that he was using. I pretty much go too heavy when it comes to weights, and I don't get the right form. I mean, yeah, he's 4 times the size of me, and he's pretty much doing the same weight I am. So I learned a lot in that area as far as hitting the muscle right and more of contraction rather than worrying about the weight.